Hello there, you're welcome to another interesting edition of my podcast, and this is Perspective from Oba, where I bring you my own perspective, my thoughts on all football related or sporting related topics. Today I'm going to be talking about the African Cup of Nations, and the semi-finals have been concluded, and I'm going to be giving you a roundup or a review of both games. The first semi-final was between the Stallions of Burkina Faso and the Pharaohs of Egypt, while the second semi-final was between the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon and the Black Stars of Ghana. Wow, I would take the first game. Both games were quite exciting, very, very keenly contested for, and I must say I was impressed with all the four teams. But let me start with the very first game. I must admit I didn't watch the Burkina Faso versus Egypt game, the first semi-final, because I had some engagement, but I recorded it and I was able to watch the game. I was following the game on Twitter on my way home, and as a matter of fact I followed the latter part of the games and the penalty on Twitter, but I recorded it and I decided to watch it, and I must say, bravo to the Burkinabes. That was a very good game. They dominated the game in my opinion, and you've got to give them credit for where they are at the moment. They deserve all the accolades that comes their way. Just when they were dominating the game, the Egyptian got a goal through probably or arguably one of their best or most influential player, Mohamed Salah, who latched onto a ball that was well set up for him by Mohamed El Amadi, who plays for Hull City, and he latched onto the ball and was goal number one for Egypt. At that point in time, the thought that would normally come to your mind is only if the Burkinabes are taking their chances. If they had taken all the chances that came their way, they would have found themselves in that situation. But some minutes later, probably not up to 6 minutes, Burkina Faso got an equalizer through someone that is fast becoming a legend and fans' favourite. Even non-Burkinabes supporters, other supporters from other countries across Africa, have taken a likeness to this player, Aristide Banzi, who had this distinct blonde haircut, and he latched onto the ball and gave Burkina Faso an equalizer, which was the second goal of the competition, having scored in the previous game against Tunisia in the quarterfinals. At that particular point in time, it was game on for both teams. As a matter of fact, I'll be honest, I was rooting for Burkina Faso. I really wanted to get to the finals. But the game dragged on to penalties, and Egypt carried the day, or they won the game. And with penalties, it's a game of luck and fortune. It's just pure luck, really. And that was I do usually prefer that a game end in normal regulation time than the game to go into penalties. It is heart-wrenching, heartbreaking for the loser of any game, any penalty games. But you have to give kudos to the Burkinabes all the same. They deserve all the credits. And for all our big teams out there, all the so-called elitist football teams in Africa, the likes of Nigeria, Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Senegal, I've got news for you. The Burkinabes, that's the Burkina Faso team, have joined the elitist team as well. When they qualified for the Afcon Cup of Nations in 2013, you could have thought it was a fluke, but within a space of 4 years, getting to the semi-finals and almost qualifying to the finals, and possibly putting out another brilliant performance, you can't write them off anymore. I remember when Nigeria defeated Burkina Faso by 7 goals to 1. I'm sure you remember the eras of Finidi George and Friday Lahore, Ruben Agbola, Stephen Keshi, Rashidi Yakini. Those days are long gone. That's not the same Burkina Faso team we're talking about now. They've come of age, and they can take a huge credit for what they've done, and they can take positives as well too. And I hope that the FA of the Burkinabes would latch onto this success and build a proper template for football development in Burkina Faso. If they do that, there'll be a force to be reckoned with. And I do like to say this: I would like to see them at the World Cup. I would like to see Burkina Faso at the World Cup. And for Egypt qualifying for the finals, haven't missed 3 editions of the Afcon Cup of Nations. Credits. They are fast becoming African greats. They are going to be vying for, they're going to be playing the finals to win the African Cup of Nations for a possibly 8th time. And that is a huge record. But as far as African Cup of Nations is concerned, I don't think the Egyptians have got anything to prove. Their Northern African rivals, particularly Algeria, will always latch onto the fact that Egypt, the last time they've been to the World Cup was in 1990, whereas Algeria have been to the World Cup probably about 3 or 4 times. So I think they need to prove themselves at the world stage, and that's where it matters. But as far as the African Cup of Nations is, they've got nothing to prove. Congratulations to Egypt. Now moving on to the next game, which was played on Thursday. That's the game between Black Stars of Ghana and Cameroon. It was going to be a tight game, and my predictions sort of proved me right. I was proven right by my predictions, not by the scoreline, but by the fact that it was going to be an edgy game, and that was what it was, at least for the first half. The Cameroonians obviously came into the game with a game plan. They stifled the Ghanaian midfield, which is usually the area of domination for Ghanaian teams, and they were quite tight defensively, and they mounted up some offensive onslaughts that threatened Ghanaians occasionally. They did that, and that carried on into the semi-finals and into the second half of the game, and they got a chance towards the last 20 minutes of the second half, and they latched onto a set piece and got a goal. And at that point in time, I knew it was game over for Ghana, because I knew there's no way the Cameroonians will let go. They stifled the Ghanaians, and the Ghanaians started mounting pressure to at least get an equalizer, start through all the men up front, and which led to the second goal with the Cameroonian scored. They had a corner kick, and all the players went up front in the pursuit or in the quest to get an equalizer, and the Cameroonian countered, and it was a goal, and that was the end of it. It was a nail in the coffin for the Ghanaians, and that was game over. So for the Cameroonians, it's a huge congratulations, particularly when you consider the fact that before the competition, some of their top players, the likes of Choupo-Moting, who plays in Schalke in Germany, the likes of Matip, who plays for Liverpool, and the likes of Alim Inyom, who moved from Watford to West Bromwich Albion, all refusing to play for Cameroon. You would have thought that this Cameroon team looked decimated. And when you look at the nucleus of this present Cameroonian team, they are what I would call probably a bunch of journeymen looking for some sort of recognition. And I must say, they took their chances, they seized the opportunity, and alas, they're in the finals. And looking at the history between Egypt and Cameroon, this is the third time they were playing the finals. In 1986, Cameroon got to the finals and played against Egypt. Egypt won that game. In 2008, there was a repeat of that. Egypt won that game again. And could Egypt make it 3 times, or could Cameroon break the jinx? We would all wait to see that on Sunday when the finals will be played. The third place will be played as well on Saturday between Ghana and Burkina Faso. I think it will be a huge one for Ghana. They will have to motivate themselves. I don't think they'll probably be motivated to play the third place. In history, I've actually shown in time past whenever Ghana gets eliminated in the semi-final, they really look a little bit laxed. But for Burkina Faso, I think they probably would, put in everything and try and salvage something for their country and bring some sort of pride to Burkina Faso. So so that is it at the moment. For Ghana, it's quite a sad one because when you consider the fact that the last time they won the African Cup of Nations is been ages, and I mean anybody born from 1982 downwards have not really experienced. They don't know what it is to enjoy victory, to enjoy the victory of your team winning a trophy. They haven't, particularly at the senior level. All they probably would have heard would have been stories from big uncles, big brothers, daddies at the time. To put it in context, the last time Ghana won the African Cup of Nations, there weren't DVDs at the time, there weren't CDs, no internet, no emails. A lot of technological innovations had come to fruition since the last time Ghana won it. And to put it in context for probably our British listeners, the last time Ghana won it, Margaret Thatcher was the Prime Minister of Great Britain. That was how long it was. So I think this will be a crushing blow to the younger generations of Ghanaians. They'll probably have to try again. And for Egypt, for Cameroon, wow, getting to the finals with a team that is less fancied, you've got to give them credit for that. So I look forward to watching the finals, and I hope you're looking forward to watch the finals as well. Until I come your way again, when I bring you my review or my opinion on the finals, drop me a note on the comment section. Let me know what you think or what you feel. And it is Perspective from Oba. I'm signing out now. Take care. Bye bye.